be able to present this award because becoming Firefighter of the Year. How many Firefighters of the Year do we have? I know we've got Jerry Click, Barry Pollard. Who else is out there as Firefighter of the Year? Ron Short, Glenn Johnson. These guys can, who else? Tokar. This is a huge honor because while we have categories of things like paramedic, officer, rookie, this kind of covers the whole thing. And I was trying to think of a speech to write that would do justice to this award. And I learned how to copy and paste. Have y'all ever done that? Copy, paste? Well, I went through the nomination descriptions for this guy, James Hawkins, and man, I couldn't have written a speech better than what the guys wrote to nominate him. So I'm just going to read a few of the excerpts. I mean, I couldn't possibly read the whole thing, but get a load of what James has done this last year. Starts off with, James is the consummate firefighter, a huge asset to Garland Fire Department. On duty or off, he's a walking public relations campaign for Garland Fire Department. If you need anything done, call James. Someone needs help, call James. There have been a lot of changes in the department over the past year. One thing that hasn't changed is James' commitment to excellence and his service to the Garland Fire Department and the citizens of Garland. During 2012, James was chairman of the Paramedic Advisory Board. No small task, trying to rule over a bunch of unruly paramedics. And it's a board of paramedics, EMS educators, and managers who meet monthly to discuss and implement innovations within the world of EMS. New products are considered, incidents are reviewed to ensure quality EMS care is delivered to the citizens of Garland. It's a very time-consuming effort. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes meetings and discussions that's involved, and James presides over all that. Also, he served on the Firefighter Advisory Board. This is a board of firefighters that meet regularly to discuss and implement innovations within the world of structural firefighting. The committee is vital to ensure that our department stays up to date in its responses and training strategies. Not only that, he volunteered to leave the comfort of his shift and work Monday through Friday, 40 hours a week, to assist in teaching our rookies. As always, he did an outstanding job helping turn out one of the best recruit classes you just saw through the academy in some time. He worked side by side with recruits to ensure that they understood what was asked of him. He gave one-on-one attention to those needing his help and became a personal resource to each of them. I'm not finished yet. Solely through his efforts, James Hawkins achieved the Garland Fire Department's platinum level, fit-friendly worksite recognized by the American Heart Association. There's less than 250 work sites throughout the country that are so recognized, and James Hawkins was instrumental in us getting that award. Not only that, he was selected to become a search and rescue canine handler for the Texas Task Force 2. This requires hours of grueling and training, personal commitment from James and his wife. In this position, James will be used in rescue responses not only throughout the state, but he could be sent anywhere there's a need. He's already shared some of this training with his fellow firefighters, thereby again improving the quality of care the Garland Fire Department provides for its citizens. Again, this is written by several different people. I just compiled the whole thing. And I'm not finished yet. I cannot think of another firefighter that has represented this department off duty as many times as James Hawkins. Just this year, he's represented us at the following charities, among others. The September 11th Memorial Stair Climb. How many did you climb, James? One. Took the elevator. Walk a mile in her shoes. Really? I think there's a picture in the program. Neath the Reef, the Mud Run, dinner at Chili's. It goes on. His most recent contributions to the department have come in the wake of the tragedy that we've all talked about with Devin. He was first on the scene to help Devin, to jump up and help him. The time he's volunteered to this incident has been instrumental in the beginning stages of Devin's recovery. And the last sentence that I copied and pasted, I think, says it all. If I was to pick an all-star crew for a station, Hawk would would definitely be a first-round pick in my book. James Hall.
Say after that, thank you guys. There's only two people that really nominated me, Keith Webb and Jerry Flick. I'm just kidding. There was more, but I heard a rumor that they put in some kind of work for me, and thank you so much. It's obvious that I couldn't be here right now if it wasn't for my wonderful wife, who gets me up more than she keeps me up. It just makes her happy that way. So I'm out of the house, but she's worked all the time, and she allows me to spend my spare time helping the fire department. And so I thank her so much. She's been my rock and allows me to do all the things I can do. So without her, I wouldn't be standing here right now. And I'm getting nervous, and I would have totally forgot her and been in a lot of trouble. So I wrote her down on the top of my list. And it's not a long list, but it's a few people I do want to thank. I will tell you a short story. Before I started working here, I worked for the Dallas Sheriff's Department, and it was a good department. It was interesting. It was a good job. It helps me be grateful for the job I have today. The funny thing about the Sheriff's Department was that when I worked there, I was one of the smartest guys, one of the strongest guys, I was the top tier of the department. And I'm not bragging, this department was just that low. The difference is that when I came here, I was no longer the best. I wasn't the smartest, I wasn't the fastest, I wasn't the strongest, I wasn't the most dedicated. There was always someone that beat me in every level, in every category. And I took whatever I could from that person and tried to better myself. And to this day, I'm still not the best at any of those categories. There's always someone definitely stronger and faster and smarter, but I definitely try hard to be like the people that I work with. When I started out at Old Station 4, there was a lieutenant there, Philip Smith, and the thing that got me with Philip that I'll never forget is that he was always there helping me wash the fire truck when I was a rookie there. He never left my side. He was always looking out for me, and I'll never forget that. I'll always be grateful for him. Officers like that still look out for their guys and don't mind getting dirty and washing fire trucks and emptying trash cans. It's amazing. I'm looking at one right now, Ron Short. You guys all know he's incredible. He's always there with us. Keith Webb, he was with me there. He's been my good friend over the years. We stayed close. He always looked out for me, and I remember the day when it was around my rookie time was about up, and he came to me and said, "Hey, we're going to back off of you because we've been pretty hard on you. We feel sorry for you. We're surprised you're still here." So I'm just letting you know I'm officially backing off. And so I appreciate that. I had a big sigh of relief when that day happened. Kelly Miller, I never forget, and you probably forgot this story, but when I was a rookie, we had paper reports, and he was mad at the billing company, so he would always put like 100 staples in his report and send them in. So I would do the same thing, and Kelly came to me and said, "Hey, you're a rookie, you don't need to be doing that. Let me put all the staples in that." This is way getting back, but I'll never forget that. It was a great story, it was a lot of fun. If you want to ask me sometime, we almost blew Randy Whitfield up with a potato gun. I'd love to tell you that story, not now, not here. We had a lot of fun at the fire stations. When we were by ourselves, and it was just the guys, it was food fights and water fights and all that good stuff, just to keep a family camaraderie, a brotherhood. When the bell rang or the citizens came in, it was instant professionalism. I mean, it was amazing how the guys could just turn it on. We'd be brothers in the station and watch out for each other on the calls. But when it came time to get serious, they got serious, and they did a great job. And I'll never forget my family at 4C when I started in Old Station 4. And when I moved to Station 3, it was a little bit more of an animal house. Harley Warren was there. There was Corey Johnson. I think he was kind of the stabilizer. He kept us the rudder in the water. Because we had Chris White and James Duggar, and those guys were a little on the other side. I wish Chris was here. He drove an ambulance like he was in NASCAR, and I'll never forget it. He scared me to death, but I always knew what the limits were in an ambulance because Chris White showed me. So, luckily, he doesn't drive an ambulance. He drives the biggest fire truck in the city, so we're safe. I just want to say, and now I work for Captain George Wynn, and I'm not sure where is George. George Wynn. He is the nicest guy, nicest captain. He's always helping us. He always helps us with dishes. He always helps us cook. He helps us wash the fire truck. He gets dirty with us all the time. If we're missing, then he comes out and looks for us and finds out what we're doing, and he works with us. And I couldn't appreciate him more. He's been definitely one of my inspirations. I've never seen him mad except for the time I parked a truck in the grass. And he's got this deal with the grass. He does not like you messing with the grass. And that's the only time he ever got mad at me. Because I put ruts in the yard. And so I spent the rest of the day pulling the ruts out. Something else I'll never forget. But I had a lot of great partners. Philip Crawford's been with me for a long time. He's a great sounding board. He keeps me level. And keeps it fun and interesting. And I'll always be grateful to Philip. I've worked with a lot of great guys, Paul Henley, Jason Brooks. I can't tell you, there's just a ton of guys. Everybody in this room, I just can't even begin to tell you. It's really not about me. Everything I've done, all the accolades I've got, there's always somebody next to me or in front of me or around me helping me do those things. So it wasn't me by myself by any means. And so I was the guy that was stepping on everybody else to get up to the front of the picture, I guess. I don't know which to mention first because they're both really big in my heart. The rookies, this last class I got to work with was incredible. Every one of them I loved to work with. It was one of the best classes I've ever seen in 15 years that I've been in the fire service. It's definitely incredible. I'd love to have been a rookie with them. In many parts I was because I was learning a lot from them, and I was in as much trouble as they were, I think. So, yeah, I heard that laugh. The last person I'd really like to thank is Jerry Flake. I met him when I was a volunteer firefighter, and that's when I knew I wanted to come work for Garland. Jerry is totally spastic. I love him to death. They say he's calmed down, and maybe he has, but he goes not even nothing. And Jerry is not the guy that comes out and helps you wash a fire truck or empties his trash can. He's the guy that's already done it. And so by the time you think about it, Jerry's already done 3 or 4 things. And to this day, he is one of the hardest working firefighters I've ever met. And if I can be an eighth of the firefighter that Jerry Flick is, then I'll be a happy man. So I'm following his footsteps. He was paramedic the year, and then I was paramedic the year, and then he was firefighter last year. So I hope he doesn't retire. I thank you guys, everybody here. I'd be amiss if I didn't at least mention the 2 Bryan firefighters we lost this last week. Lieutenant Eric Wallace and Lieutenant Greg Pickard were killed in a commercial fire. And I thank the chief and everyone, Chief Knight, all the staff for allowing us to send our honor guard down and representing Garland Fire Department for the loss of those brothers. They do the same thing for us. The firefighters from California, New York, Florida, Washington, all came to pay respects for these guys in Texas. And we like to do the same thing. We don't know those guys, but we know what they were about, their families, and what they went through. And knock on wood, that we never have to do that here in Garland. But it's such a brotherhood that we'll take care of each other. And I'd be amiss also if I didn't thank the administration for everything they've done for us and the city council for taking care of us. It's a great family, and you guys all help us to be a great family. Thank you so much. I hope I can end it up. Thank you.